Pulse 95.
Hello, good morning, Sharjah and the United Arab Emirates. We're back again. The morning Majlis's Gahwa is brewing, and it is for you to get involved with most of the discussions here on Pulse 95, as we will be giving you a bit of a breakdown in terms of Kanye West in particular, because obviously he's come back into the world of political thoughts and he has also been offering a number of shifting opinions about his presence in the presidential race. So we'll be discussing that in greater detail. It is your Majlis. We've got a Majlis debate also lined up for you later on in the program, and Rania Saudi has got a very, very important list that we didn't even know about.
Absolutely. We all know that COVID-19 had a profound impact on the global jobs market as a whole. Many lost their jobs and amid this crisis, of course, and the jobs market is currently 3 times more competitive when compared to the same period last year, and that is according to LinkedIn. And also, another important data that was actually compiled by LinkedIn was the list. They made a list of the world's top 10 most in-demand jobs that don't need a degree. So we will share that list with you and talk thoroughly about it, because this is a conversation not to miss.
Absolutely is. And a number of business stories as well from the region and around the world will be discussed as part of the Morning Majlis this morning. And as always, text us at 4215 throughout the program. Make your voice heard and join the Majlis with us here on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome back to the program. Bit of a technical glitch there, but we're talking all about Sharjah's Human Resources Directorate implementing a series of online training programs this month.
Absolutely, they are. Well, they started implementing a series of online training programs for the month of July here in Sharjah, the central region and the eastern region, that is, which it organizes for employees of Sharjah government agencies, departments, and bodies at all job levels. Now, where the programs are implemented through a distance training system using the WebEx program. After passing, the trainees obtain training certificates, and they are included in the employees' online training system as well.
Yeah, and I love the aspect that it's at all job levels, so that could potentially mean us. You never know. Never know. 39 training programs will be implemented by the Sharjah Human Resources Directorate for Sharjah employees of the Sharjah government, where they'll look at training officials in all of the entities under the Emirates, and they'll also be viewing a training plan through the system, then circulated to their employees in workplace to apply for the compatible programs and their job field.
Absolutely, and a part of adapting to these difficult circumstances we're in is the utilization of e-platforms, and that's what these training programs are focused on, implementing these remote training programs, various software as well, to ensure that training is done efficiently while maximizing the safety of employees. That's what the Sharjah Human Resources Directorate said.
Yeah, I mean, this process of learning never ends, and this is what we've always heard from our elders and family members, even parents, to a large degree, saying that you've got to be continuously learning. Here in Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, we're very blessed to have the Sharjah Media Training Centre as well, which trains the new employees. It also trains the already established employees in different domains and different training programs. So the training never ends. But if you are from that school of thought of diversifying your skill set, let us know. Get involved on the text lines 4215 in terms of which areas you think that people should now also focus on when it comes to technology. I get called, I do consider myself fairly tech savvy, better than my dad for sure, but then the younger team in our Pulse 95 call me Sido at times. which literally translates as granddad at times. And that's because there's certain times where I'm not very tech savvy at all, and I'm thinking, whoa, does this happen as well? Especially when it comes to using MacBooks, for example. But
I hear you.
Yeah, it's really good that
If you're Sido, I'm Sito.
oh, there we
For
go.
sure. Because
there we go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not good with technology either.
I'm not on my own either, which is very, very good to see. But any particular skill do you think you would want to increase or improve this time round?
Knowing you touched on a very important topic here. It's using your MacBook.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
use my MacBook. I want to, I don't know how to use it. Just like regular stuff, write a Word document or
Yeah,
something, or send an email, browse through my photos. That's that's as far as I can go.
Mr. Ahmadawad, any particular skill?
I'd like to hear what skills you would like to enhance, Abdul Karim.
I remember the days when, obviously I've been in broadcast industry for a while now. I'd say, I sound like as if I've been there for 20, 25 years. No, it's only been 8 years. But I remember the time when I was just a presenter, and then there was a situation where we had to move roles. We were all laid off due to very difficult circumstances in the media industry, and I didn't know how to make videos at all.
Oh.
At all. Like, I had nothing. I had no. All I knew was to put on a microphone and speak in front of the camera. Now, when the cameramen are gone, microphones are gone. I am on my own.
What are you going to do?
Exactly. So I learned how to make films. I did a short course in filmmaking, and then I moved on to learning how to edit videos. Then I learned how to edit audios. But I think there's so much more room for improvement because, yes, the basic levels are there, but now using different style of effects and graphics, motion graphics is one area that I'd like to make.
Ask Gabby for some help.
Yeah, there we go. Grammar with Gabby, graphics with Gabby, and that is going to be something that we'll look forward to. But let us know if you've got any skills. A shout out to all our listeners out there.
Yeah.
If you'd like to improve desert driving, for example, people. Sometimes.
And more than ever, it's easy to pick up a skill
True.
because you go online. Online classes are cheaper than ever. You could go on YouTube as well for free tutorials. There's a lot of reading material available for free under the public domain, even academic papers, so there's no excuse.
Yeah, well, shout out to Sharjah Department of Human Resources. If you would like a trainer, there we go. Morning Majlis team is ready to train people, putting our hands up there. Stay tuned to Pulse 95. Let us know if there is a particular skill that you would like to improve and add to your portfolio and diversified skill set. We'll be right back after a bit of musical entertainment. And there's another Majlis debate that is something to look forward to. It's about the 10 most in-demand jobs that don't require a degree. Stay tuned to Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis. It's the Morning Majlis.
Hello and welcome back on to the Morning Majlis. Well, one particular name that has been top trending since, let's just say, for the past almost 2 days now is Kanye West. Yesterday we talked about and we announced that he decided to run for the 2020 presidential election, the U.S. presidential election, that is. And he's decided, of course, to go head-to-head with Donald Trump, a person that he really admires, and Joe Biden. Now, he got many supporters from his wife, Kim Kardashian. She replied or she retweeted his announcement with a U.S. flag emoji, while his friend, very close friend, Tesla chief executive Elon Musk wrote, "You have my full support." But that decision or that announcement that he's running for president has angered some people.
Apart from angering some people, it's worrying some people as well. There's a lot of them who would say, okay, it's great that people are willing to put their hands up and fight for elections, and Kanye West being a very controversial figure. But the fact is that the elections are only 4 months away. Kanye West still needs to register with the Federal Election Commission.
It's not clear whether he registered yet or not.
No,
He didn't.
He
didn't,
hasn't,
yeah.
no. He still needs to present a campaign platform,
Exactly.
collect enough signatures.
Does he have enough time? That's the thing.
Well, he's missed the deadline to be an independent candidate in some states, but he still has time. It's not all over yet, but it's going to take a lot of work. And one person that has now, he's got the backing and full support is of Elon Musk's. This is going to be interesting. How much is Elon Musk going to fund his election campaign? Because all candidates actually require a lot of backing, but they also require a lot of financial assistance. The finance part Elon Musk has done, but when it comes to backing, Ahmadawad, Joe Biden's supporters are now in the camp against him.
Yeah, big questions as to how a real, actual Kanye West run would impact the elections. And these elections could get razor-thin margins at times, with both main candidates being extremely close to one another as far as their election's concerned. They're saying that Kanye West could take some votes away from Biden. In fact, a lot of those votes would belong to African Americans, so that's one big concern among Biden supporters. Another concern here is that should Kanye West run, it might just be a bit of a media circus, and now is not the time for a media circus, many critics say, as America has been dealing with a horrific spike in coronavirus cases. In fact, just in this 24-hour period, Florida recorded its most infections at over 11,000 as well. And nationwide studies are also stating that COVID-19 cases are rising quite rapidly. It hasn't even been close to being contained. It has also just been recently reeling from Black Lives Matter protests against police brutality and racial injustice across the country. So, and of course, there are the economic woes, the United States hitting recession, unemployment rates spiking as high as 12.3% last month. So all of these factors coming in, and on top of that, you have a media circus. It may not be the most helpful situation, according to critics as well. But then there's a big opportunity here to take away voters, perhaps, given major criticism of Trump's handling of the COVID-19 crisis and the economy. So it'll be interesting to see how Kanye joining the fray might impact potential Trump and Joe Biden voters.
Yeah, and the timing is very unique, as you touched on, Ahmed. I mean, you don't know what Kanye West's intentions are, really. A lot of social media people, let's just say, a big section of social media, they actually speculate whether it is just a stunt being organized by him before a potential album launch, because he released a new song with fellow rapper Travis Scott just last week. So that people are saying, oh, is this just a stunt that he's doing, like one of his of his things that he does?
But he's announced it before, hasn't he?
But he has. And
he's sticking to his promise.
And I loved one of the comments that one of the people said. They said, imagine if Biden picks Kanye West for his VP, 2020 can no longer surprise me, which is really, really funny. It's just like anything could happen at this point this year.
It is worth noting Kanye initially was a Trump supporter, but recently diverged from President Trump over Black Lives Matter and the protests. In fact, he also recently donated $2 million to support the families of George Floyd and other African-American individuals who were killed in incidents with both police and citizens as well. So we could expect his platform changing quite a bit, but there's so much we don't know. He hasn't officially registered yet, so a lot of question marks here.
Yeah.
Still lots of question marks. It will be interesting to see that if he were to mend ties with President Donald Trump and then Trump chooses him instead of Mike Pence as his running mate, that would be an interesting to see that it is celebrities versus political elites. You never know what's happening, but it will be interesting to see what happens. But the fact of the matter is, 4 months away is the election. It is the competitive fall, as we talked about Jacinda Ardern's re-election campaign as well from New Zealand. And what's going to happen? Morning Majlis will be keeping you posted throughout this period, and we shall be returning right after the sporting headlines. And it is going to be a very important Majlis debate. Top 10 jobs that don't require a degree. Stay tuned to the Morning Majlis.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Yes, this is a story that has been shaping the headlines for sure, and shaping our lives, really, because the coronavirus crisis had a massive impact on the global jobs market. Many lost their jobs this year, and the jobs market is currently 3 times more competitive when compared to the same period last year. Now, in line with that, we have a new LinkedIn data that shows, or it's made on job postings from the past month, that shows how employers are prioritizing a broad mix of roles, from frontline jobs now obviously being recognized as essential, to operational roles that can help bring businesses back on track. And we have the list of the world's 10 most in-demand jobs that don't need a degree.
That's right. And you look at those jobs, what do they have most in common? I'll name a few. The top one is software developer. You have IT administrator, you have customer service specialist, IT support, help desk, data analyst, graphic designer. What do they all have in common? Technology.
Yep,
and
IT.
We're heading somewhere, and it's pretty clear where we're heading.
My dad always told me this. Get into tech.
But see, like one of the most sought after roles on the market, however, that has not changed since before the pandemic is software engineer. It's always been in demand.
Financial analyst is there on the list as well, and digital marketer. Very interesting to see that. It's a lot of social media promotions, social media contact, and they're saying sales representative, which is also going to be an in demand. But the thing is, these positions have always been there, such as sales representative, analyst and financial analyst, and help desk / IT support. But being the top one, being software developer, is so important because as soon as this COVID-19 pandemic happened, shops were told to shut, and the local SMEs, the local bakeries, and the local, let's say, corner stores.
Yeah.
They didn't have any digital platform to continue selling when everything became virtual. So for them was literally zero business from day one. And then they had to look for these startups, or even look for young graduates who've now had to move into a smart transformation or digital transformation agencies. I've actually come across a number of graduates that sadly graduated at a time when the pandemic has struck the world. And they were obviously job hunting, and then they were told, okay, you're going to be joining the hunt for work with people with years of experience. So they actually moved on to this freelance / registered software developing or digital transformation agencies, helping these companies develop that infrastructure.
That is very, very important. And that's something Microsoft has talked about recently, citing the data we're discussing in the story. They're saying that now that we had this COVID-19 crisis, the world, in order to have this economic recovery, we must develop new skills among the workforce. And unfortunately, the biggest brunt of this downturn is being borne by people with lower educational attainment, people of lower socioeconomic status. They are struggling amid this time, and they highlighted the importance of providing free training in tech skills, in tech fields, in order to get the economy up to up on its feet. And that's because when you go through a crisis, it accelerates trends that are already in motion. And COVID-19 highlights that. We've seen, in fact, according to Microsoft, they're saying that 2 years worth of digital transformation have been concentrated in the past 2 months. And when we talk about trends that we've been seeing over the recent years, we're talking about the rapid emergence of AI-powered technologies, the growing need for people, everybody, to be well-equipped technologically, to be able to code, for instance, or use various programs in a changing commercial landscape. And the fact that we're seeing less employer-based training, people expect you to have that knowledge and carry it with you. All of these factors have been accelerated during COVID-19, according to Microsoft. And so we must prepare for all those developments as soon as possible.
And it's also impressive how people are also aware of this shifting trend in the market. A friend of mine, she's actually a pharmacist with a managerial position. She started actually studying digital marketing online. She started taking courses, and she invested a whole lot of money into it. And when I asked her, I said, why? What made you do the shift? You already have a good job. You secured your job. You already have a university degree. That's it. She said, this is where the trend is going. I'm going to need it later on. And I'm going to need a second job as well amid these crises, let's just say. So people are aware of where the trend is shifting to.
Exactly. Has that shifted your career aspirations, career goals, let us know on the text lines 4215. But a couple of things I'd like to highlight with the pandemic. Obviously, we had Shuruk, we had the Sharjah Ramadan Economic Majlis, and then the spokespeople from Shuruk, His Excellency Marwan Sarkar, as well, the executive chairman of Shuruk, and a number of senior government officials from Sharjah. All of them said the same thing, that what we expected to happen in 2030 actually happened now.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be virtual. There's not going to be any money spent on flying plane tickets, booking venues for a discussion. You could have a discussion over Zoom platform wherever you are. You don't have to travel anywhere, don't have to drive anywhere, don't have to fly anywhere, which was really good to see, hear that. Another thing is, Pulse 95 Radio, we started working from home as well, and we were broadcasting our show live from our homes, having that infrastructure in place so that we were able to use online platforms such as Zoom as well to directly connect to our broadcasting. And other thing is, now that we're on YouTube, all of the cameras that you see are operating on their own. They're detecting our voices through these microphones and shifting
accordingly.
Exactly. So imagine having someone filming us from 7 a.m. That would be actual torture. So yeah, we're live throughout 24/7 on Pulse 95 Radio's YouTube account. So if you'd like to see our happy, pretty faces as well, do log on to that. And we shall be keeping you posted and entertained there. Get in touch with us, 4215 at Thisalat and Do, and also DM us on Pulse 95 Radio. We'll be right back after the short break because we'll be shifting our focus on the world of markets and the big business deals when it comes to regional development. Stay tuned. This is the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Hello and welcome back onto the Morning Majlis, and we're talking about Sharjah as an attractive destination for doing business when it comes to ease of doing business as well as opportunities for growth. And we have seen in particular with Sharjah Media City being a key area and a very popular free zone which has grown over the last 3 years as well. And we have just seen or heard from them that they've achieved 6.3% growth in new company registrations, particularly in the second quarter of 2020. That is at the peak of the pandemic situation here in the United Arab Emirates. On the lines, we have Mr. Shihab Al-Hammadi, who is the director of Sharjah Media City. A very good morning to you.
Good morning to you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back on the Morning Majlis again. Rania Saadi and Ahmed Dawood are here with me, and we're talking about how the Morning Majlis would like to understand about the 6.3% growth. What does it indicate and how was it achieved?
Well, as we all know, the shift in the market that happened during the pandemic time actually helped people to focus on having new ways of doing business. Leaving the traditional way of having the companies run, people started going towards online services and online product sales and stuff like that. So we've done some discounts and some offers to attract people to open companies where they can do business online. So we did implement several strategies assisting in the crisis management, and some of which focused on providing the platform where companies can do business online. So we did actually have great results on that, and we've established something like more than 150 e-commerce companies, and through our digital platform, of course, and we made it easy for the companies to register for new businesses online, and that seamless process was actually very effective for people during the time they stayed at home. And that process, of course, ensured the issuing the license electronically, which is something we've been doing for more than 6 months now. And of course, we're still in the process of strengthening our digital presence, wherein individuals can access all their services from the comfort of their homes.
You mentioned the discount schemes that you are giving the businesses. Can you talk to us closely more about the benefits that you are offering Shams businesses to overcome the current challenges that is posed by the COVID-19?
As I just mentioned, we've actually offered many discounts and offers for the companies to help them throughout this time. We've also just recently launched the freelancer package within the media industry, of course, for various activities, including photography, design, and filmmaking. We've also made several discounted and fees reductions and cuts to help companies also during this time. So this is kind of what attracted people and what made the Corona time as COVID time more effective for people to go and do business online.
One thing that I'd like to ask you, Mr. Hammadi, is obviously when the pandemic situation happened, there's a lot of people who, obviously lost their jobs and probably looking and venturing into the world of freelancing, and are always scared of the paperwork and accrediting their degrees, getting those stamps set up and everything. Talk to us about how easy it is now and how vital it can be to now register with a free zone such as Shams, and how you've made it easier for new applicants. How easy is it now to set up a freelancer package and set up business in the United Arab Emirates through your team?
Since we started the process of starting a new company in Shams, we focused on reducing the time consumed and the efforts that a customer goes through in the process of issuing the license. So we did cut in a lot of paperwork that were not actually necessary for that, and we've made it easy to publish paperwork. Also had lots of help, of course, throughout the website that we have, where you can contact the salesperson online instantly throughout the website, so they can help you throughout the process. So this all helped in providing the customers ways to create their own licenses while sitting in their home. And of course, from our side here, in the offices, we handle everything, and we take on all the paperwork. And we've of course made partnerships with the top priority stakeholders, where we can actually reduce time during the process, and of course do our process in bulks rather than do it one by one. So these are lots of actually actions taken since we started, and we've built lots of partnerships with many partners, be it government entities and private entities, to smoothen the process of issuing the company's licenses.
We're speaking to the director of Sharjah Media City, Shihab Al-Hammadi, talking about how the business setup process, why Shams is digitized, and there are a number of discounts and incentives also issued to business owners. Shihab, I got a question about what Shams is up to and what more can we expect as far as initiatives from you later this year?
By the end of this year, inshallah, we'll be launching the customer portal, where any customer, any member of Shams community could access his own portal, where we keep all the, of course, historical transactions that he's created within Shams. He can ask for any service online. He can also track his employees' interaction with Shams and keep on records for that, and of course print his documents and have access to all the services that he could do. Of course, we are also going to be inaugurating the 3-building complex that Shams is actually have been working on for the last 1.5 years. And this will also provide, the system will also provide the companies access to book the rooms and meeting rooms and the services in those buildings through the app and application and the platform that we're creating. So it's going to be a comprehensive platform that you can do everything through a mobile phone or through the website portal.
Well,
so these are two major. These are two major projects that we're working on currently. Of course, there will be. We're also working on a very comprehensive marketplace where people can do business together online and also participate in big projects where it's going to be a big help for freelancers and entrepreneurs to enter such platform. So that's also something we're actually in process of building.
No, certainly it is very exciting. Now, I know you've now got an extended drive because we've moved on from the University City office to the one that is on Aveid Road, and the backyard is looking very, very lively with more construction work going on. And you mentioned the 3-building complex. Are we on track for their construction plans? And in terms of, apart from meeting rooms, can we expect studios? Can we expect some high-tech capabilities in those buildings? Or is that something that we're working on?
Yeah, well, trying, of course, to be part of everything that is cutting-edge technology and smart offices and smart solutions when it comes to office building. Of course, this is something we want to be known for, and of course, we've always been talking about being born digital rather than digital transformation projects and doing stuff like that. So we've actually incorporated lots of tech solutions in the buildings, and of course, we wanted everything to be done through a mobile phone where people can ask for any kind of service. And of course, there will be some smart solutions that is embedded in the infrastructure of the buildings. If you came to the business center that we have currently in our main building, in our offices here in the headquarters, you will notice that there are lots of solutions that we've kind of created some kind of trial for what's coming up for Shams. So I think whoever came to this building would have a sense of what is going to be, what's going to be presented there in the buildings, in the new projects that we're working on. And of course, this is also an example of what Shams is going to be and what is going to represent.
Well, certainly is a very exciting period to look forward to as we move on to the third quarter. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Shihab Al-Hammadi, and we look forward to welcoming you in the studios at some point soon.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure. Well, stay tuned to Pulse 95. We'll be returning tomorrow morning, bright and early, and we'll see you then.
That's right. Catch us at 7 a.m. And if you'd like to tune in to highlights from the program, head over to our YouTube channel, Pulse 95 Radio. We're also on SoundCloud. Just type in Morning Majlis at the search bar and find all the latest highlights and segments from the program. Stay tuned to Pulse 95.
Until next time.
Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. The heart of Sharjah.